policy.
You know what I was watching the other day? They had this whole thing about these 3 guys in Boston who made a straight pride parade.
Oh.
I thought it was hilarious.
I think that's funny as hell. I mean, why not? You know?
Yeah.
I think it's just funny when anytime you try to put a parody on something just for the laughs. I'm sure they're doing it for the laughs. I'm sure they're not like.
And
do you think they were dead serious?
Dude, guess who their grand marshal was?
Oh, God. I have no idea.
Milo.
Oh, of course it was Milo. Oh, man. I miss his Twitter, man. He was funny as shit.
For those of you who don't know, this was about 3 years ago. You know they have the gay pride thing, and I'm fine. Go ahead and do whatever you want to do. But I'm one of those people who does believe that if you're a straight white Christian man, you're among the most discriminated people in this country. Discriminated against.
Yeah.
If you're a conservative, straight white Christian male.
Well, let's just think about what it is to apply for a university. Harvard, actually, the percentages go to where Asians are the most discriminated to get into universities. White people are the next. Then it goes further down the line where you get points for just being African American, Latino, or anything outside of white or Asian. I think Indians are also starting to become one of the more discriminated agencies in that department as well.
Well, you know, I'm an 1/8 of a percentage Indian, so maybe I should start putting that down.
Oh, you should certainly put that down. You get so many grants. You get so much money from that. And you probably wouldn't have to pay for college. I mean, you hit the percentile to do it.
Really?
Yeah. You have to be at least 124th.
Yep.
More than that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had birthright to Israel.
Oh, no shit?
Yeah.
How you got that?
My dad was Jewish.
No shit?
Uh-huh.
Oh, damn.
So me and my sisters have birthright citizenship to Israel.
Are you going to make a trip there?
I don't think I want to go to the Middle East right now.
Fair enough. I'll tell you what, that's the safest place to be if you're going to go anywhere in the Middle East.
Israel? Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Then they have that big old biodome.
The Iron Dome.
Yeah, the Iron
which
Dome.
is strictly a defense mechanism. So a lot of people like AOC like to attack Israel for having the Iron Dome, but it's not to enforce any violence against other people. It's just to make sure that whenever they try to strike you, you can just blow it up out the sky.
So let's go into what we were talking about earlier. And look, we're not going to say any names of people, but we were talking about the straight pride parade that happened 3 years ago. All the celebrities losing their minds, losing their shit about this. Obviously, it was a trolling thing.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Obviously. Liberals and people who are offended about gay jokes and shit like that. And if people like us call our friends faggots, because we can, and we will still say that word. We're not going to call anybody who's gay that word. It's a lot different if you're saying it to your friends than if you're saying it at somebody who's gay. And that word is faggot is way different than the N-word. Let's get that straight up.
Mm-hmm.
Way different. That word was used whenever you enslaved an entire race of people. Last time I checked, you're not enslaved for being gay.
Yep. They did face persecutions, of course, back in those times.
Yeah, discrimination.
Gay people were lynched, and it's a terrible time in American history. But we have progressed past that, and one of the most enlightening things that ever happened in my life was my brother actually coming out to me. It was tough for him. I was actually the last person in my family to know because no one knew how I would react. But I watched this kid grow up just depressed, having anxiety, and just not being the traditional family that we all emulated. My dad and I have the same exact personality. My mom is also fun-loving. My little brother was never in that category, and we never really knew why. So when he came out to me, it was like a relief. I was like, because I told him, be happy as long as you are enjoying yourself and you are living your true life. Then I will never fault you for anything that you cannot control. So I always have a touchy feeling about homosexuality whenever it comes to people having to deal with those things, especially living in the Deep South.
Yeah.
But like I love the fact that my little brother was able to come out and tell me who he really is, and it only brought us closer together.
Oh, that's fair, man. Look, one of my best friends who's here all the time is a lesbian. A lot of my friends are lesbians. I don't hang out necessarily with gay guys.
Mm-hmm.
Just, our preference is men. but I wouldn't knock you.
Yeah.
I wouldn't let anybody bully you for being gay. If you were getting bullied by somebody in the street, I'd come to your defense. It's nobody's right to bully you for choosing to be who you want to be. Now, do I believe in traditional marriage still? Yeah. Hell yeah, I do. Do I care? No.
It ain't going to cause me
It doesn't
problems.
affect me.
Yeah, you're not taking my money.
It doesn't affect me in any way, shape, or form.
You're not taking my money. You're not messing with me. I'm fine with that.
But here's whenever we had a conversation with two liberals at the bar.
Ooh.
And then, but no, two liberals at the bar on one bar, and then we had, like I said, somebody took that joke that I said very personally. One, because I didn't hear the whole joke, but they said, "What does it bother you?" I said, "I'm not saying that affects me in any way." They got on me about my podcast that said I would never date or marry a bisexual girl. They were tearing into that. I said, "Look, we all have our preference. Am I right?"
Absolutely. Yeah.
And they said, "Well, you use their past against them." I said, No. I said, if a girl had a film, a lesbian sex tape online somewhere, I would not date her. One, because that would be an awkward as hell conversation at Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah.
And that is my preference. I don't care what you did beforehand. If you had your time where you experimented in college, it gets back to the body count. I don't want to know your body count. I don't want to know that you've been with women. As hot as lesbians are, that's unattractive to me if I'm trying to pursue a monogamous relationship with you. It's just not attractive to me. I like to know a woman who knows what she wants.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to, well, you know what, I am kind of saying in a way that if you're bisexual, you just don't know what you want yet quite often. That's a stereotype. Am I right? Probably not. Am I wrong? Probably not.
No, that's your assumption whenever you're trying to get into a relationship.
Yeah.
And then you're going to come up after dating for 6 months, say, hey, so I kind of had this hookup with this other person. And let it be the other way around, or let it be her engaged with a man. It's still the same reaction to you.
Yeah.
You'd be like, what the fuck? Mm-hmm. Like, we were in a monogamous relationship and you kind of broke my trust. Is that where you're coming from?
100%.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. And if you ask lesbians, they'll tell you the same damn thing. Mm-hmm. They would rather date a girl who's purely a lesbian compared to bisexual.
I'm not surprised. I'm really not.
Yeah, and people lose their shit over that though.
Yeah.
Because they were saying how you're going to allow somebody's past dictate. Is that how they were saying that? Their past?
Yeah, past dictate the present.
If I'm not asking you about it, I don't want to know about it. You don't have to tell me.
Yeah.
I would not tell you about my body count either. No. I can tell you one thing's for damn sure, I'm a straight man.
Yeah.
That's all. Can you tell me you're a straight woman? Okay, good. That's all I needed to know.
Yeah. And I think it just goes back to humans are inherently vulnerable. They're usually not confident, and so you give them any like little inkling of doubt, especially when you're trying to give them a piece of you, a piece of your trust. Mm-hmm. It's a very valuable thing that you hold, and whenever you give a little bit of an insight to maybe I shouldn't be giving this person my trust because I might get hurt. That's all it comes down to. It doesn't come down to judging someone based on their past. It comes down to, can I trust you with this investment that I'm giving you, which is myself.
You know what the problem I have with liberals are today is? They automatically assume, like in that situation, they say that, so you're going to let someone dictate it from your past. They automatically assume, let me refresh that. The problem that I have with liberals today is that they automatically assume that because you have a preference in something, mm-hmm. your preference, there can be no other preference. Which is why that straight pride parade is so damn brilliant. Because I'll tell you one thing. If I knew that was happening in Lafayette, and I knew how many, because they had about 75% counter protesters.
Mm-hmm. You'd have a lot of counter protests here, especially with all the communist
DSA
club, DSA, and you have a few other groups that are doing things in Lafayette, and they're kind of growing right now. But
they're growing.
It's all on college campuses.
DSA. Here, I'm Scott Davis. I don't know, we do a public service announcement. The Democratic Socialists of America in Lafayette. I'd like to formally introduce myself. I'm Scott Davis. It's damn good to meet you. I also am your end. Stay the fuck away from us.
Yeah,
You fucking libtards.
I tell you what, though, man. The best thing about them being on the college campus is that they're not going to be here.
They can blow each other.
Well, I guess that too. But they're also not going to be here after they graduate. They're going to go to Austin, Texas. They're going to go to Vermont. They're going to go to New York State. They're not going to stay
over there
here.
too.
Yeah, they're not going to stay over here. They're going to go and get their waitressing job in New York City, try to be an artist for Lesbian Dance Theory, and it's just not going to work out. But it's whatever. To each their own. Have fun with whatever career decisions you make, but that's just something that we have to understand, that just because universities are in control of some of our more cultural, nuanced ideas, and I say nuanced as if socialism hasn't failed for the past 150 years, we have to let them have it. We have to let them enjoy it and act like they're making a difference. But at the end of the day, I'm going to go get a hamburger from Judy's Inn at a nice price for a quality meal. Because you know why? The free market works. You're not gonna get a fucking government hamburger from the USPS.
You ever thought about taking that lesbian dance theory?
Talking to me?
Yeah.
No, I didn't even know that was a class.
Oh.
I don't know if they have it at UL. It's just one of those things that they do have in more liberal universities. Lesbian dance theory is a thing.
Like Berkeley?
Mm-hmm. I'm sure they have it.
Oh,
over
dude,
there.
Berkeley, they probably have a class showing you how to insert a dildo into your rectum.
I'm sure they would. I'm sure UT Austin has something like that too.
YouTube?
No, UT Austin.
University of Texas. UT Austin?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, most likely.
Yeah. I think I told you about this before. The Cox Not Glocks event they had on campus.
No.
So they were upset that you could have a concealed carried firearm, or maybe even an open carry. I'm not really sure, on campus.
State of Texas,
Oh yeah, you would know this. Yeah, you are the gun expert here. And they but you can't have a dildo on campus. Now, in my opinion, you should be able to have both. Cause I don't give a shit if you carry a dildo. It's just I'm gonna think you're gross. I'm not gonna lie.
I know girls that walk around all day with butt plugs in.
I'm sure they do. And they have a little tail on the end.
No, they have like little hearts.
Yeah.
I'm not joking, dude.
No, to each their own, man. To each their own. I mean, I don't even care if I know it's in. It's like, I don't give a shit. I could care less.
The best one is when I love to tell the story.
Go ahead, man. The fact that you're beating the table means you need to say
The
it.
best part, there was one girl who I think she had her vibrating panty on in class, and I think her boyfriend might have been outside of the door of class, and he started hitting the app on his phone.
Props to the boyfriend.
That's awesome.
That's a funny ass joke. That is and I'm sure they did that together. Like, hey, I'm it's a little fun thing for them.
That
to do.
is fun. Do it spontaneous.
Yeah. It's like, all right, she might know his schedule, and she might knew okay, it's gonna happen soon, and then him just going, pop, 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 pop. Oh yeah.
That's fucking great.
Yeah,
man.
that's fucking hilarious. With someone hey, is someone's phone going off?
Yeah. I thought that, dude. I thought that because I was looking. Well, my phone's off. I looked at my buddy. His phone. I'm like, dude, is that your phone? He's like, no. And then you see her legs are kind of like.
You talked about it after class or something?
Oh no, dude. She you could tell that she knew that we knew. So she was sitting there, just kind of tucking her head down, and we were just sitting there. But we held it together until the end of class, and we walked out. We just started busting out laughing, dude. Because he looked at us whenever he could see him through the window. He's like,
that's pretty good. I would have shook that man's hand.
I did shake his hand.
Nice.
I did. I saw him on campus the next day.
You did it right, man.
I didn't even tell him anything about it. I just looked at him.
Knew.
I just looked at him and said, dude, I got to shake your hand. Scott Davis is damn good to meet you, buddy. No, but what we're getting back to is the straight pride parade, or what happened to us this weekend. We had a great conversation with two liberals, two ones who actually identify, call themselves liberals. Then we go back and I tell the joke about the logic professor, and I get berated about how I said I'd never date a bisexual girl. They were saying how I was going to use the past against her. I said, no, absolutely not. For people who claim they don't watch my podcast, though. Remember, they claim they don't watch the podcast.
Yeah, they knew a lot about
They knew a lot about the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
They know a lot about what I say.
Well, Scott, how do you expect them not to watch? You're a good-looking man. You have
Thanks,
the
sir.
Jaws-sized jaw going on now. Like you're cut up. You got the nice cut. You met your barber. You're good to go, man.
You met him?
Of course, they're gonna what? No, but I know you saw him again.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
You damn right.
I don't blame you either. Nice.
We
guy.
do have a parting gift for you because we are going to talk about that. We're going to provide you with your own custom Jaws-sized gift
Oh, that is fantastic.
on the house from Jaws-sized. Sir, now this is a level 4.
Okay, seems heavy duty.
A level 4, it is heavy duty. Okay. Now, let me see. Make sure that I might have the level 1 for you. I think this is the level 1. Yeah, I have level 1 for you. Because level 4 would be bad.
Level 4 is tough on the teeth.
I'm not even on level 4 yet. Level 4, you can't bend.
Oh, shit. I mean, and from that interview that you had with the CEO, it seemed like he's on level 6 or 7. That dude's...
No, level 4 is the highest one.
God, that dude's chiseled right here, man.
That's like putting 100 pounds, I believe, of pressure. The one I'm on is 50.
Jeez, how much is level 1?
25.
Okay, I like how they have this sized out. That's pretty cool. I didn't even know that.
So you're going to borrow this like a mouthpiece. I'm going to go over the instructions before. But
I'm going to do it on the way to my work in Houston. I'll be good to go. Business meetings.
Unwoken kindly provide you with your own personal Jaws-sized muscle relaxer.
Thank you. And y'all should all get this stuff, man. I've been wanting one for years. I just never pulled the trigger on it, but I am so excited to have
It's like a watch. It's like a watch whenever you're leaving.
Yeah, no,
place.
it basically is, except this one is going to be like your face is going to look better.
Yeah.
It's not just, oh, look what I have on my wrist. This is my face is here for the party.
And now's a good time to also bring up. We are glad to let you know that today's episode is brought to you by none other than Delta 3 Tactical, providing this beautiful, beautiful AR-15 and the custom lowers. Panda, what can you tell us about that gun?
What gun? The gun up here?
Yes, sir.
Gun up here? Man, it's just a standard AR pistol configuration, 10.5-inch barrel, SP3 brace on the back. Just a fun all-day shooter.
Beautiful. And also, as you just heard, by Jaws-sized. Folks, we are changing the world one bite at a time. It will make you look better. Your woman will love you for it. Other women will thank you for the sight to see. And gentlemen, it helps with your stamina in terms of your foreplay with your woman. And you can quote me on that. Back to the show. So with the liberals that we were talking to, yeah, they brought up the past thing. Here's the thing, buddy. Here's my problem, my biggest problem with liberals and born-again liberals, as I call them. Those who just automatically become woke. Because you say you're woke or you're socially conscious doesn't mean that your way is the only right way to go about things. But here's where they fuck up, and here's where you lose me. I can have a decent conversation with somebody at a bar. I don't bring up politics anymore. My friends used to get pissed off during an election cycle, dude. My friends would get pissed off because everybody came up and asked me questions. And I said, look, I can't talk about this tonight at the bar. My friends are going to leave me. I can't talk about it. People come up to us now and ask all these questions now. I'll answer a few of them and say, look, we got to talk later. We talked to these two girls. Very nice, very polite. They listened to what we had to say. We listened to what they had to say. Woke again liberals, born again liberals will sit there and not let you get one word out because they think they're fighting for the cause. Mm-hmm. You lose me there. I actually told them, all right, don't yell at me because I do not respond to that.
Yeah. Most people don't.
I said to my coaches, I've gotten yelled at before, and I can take it. But you'll do a lot better with me if you just sit there, shut your mouth, let me say what I have to say, because I do the same for you. But shut the fuck up if you're gonna yell at me outside. Mm-hmm. Because I'll take you down to your level real quick. People need to remember who they're talking to whenever you want to have an educated conversation with me.
Having an educated conversation is a really good indicator that someone is nuanced in their ideas too. I also think for a lot of people who like to yell at you for certain issues, it just shows it's a really big red flag, especially when it comes to when you're looking for a relationship in a woman. if the first thing they do is start yelling at you about your political views. It's a really good sign that they're probably not the type that you want to be around.
Oh no, dude.
Yeah.
I could never date a liberal.
And that's something
never.
that's something that I mean, it might not be their prerogative, and more power to you if that's how you want to act. But not even relationship wise, building rapport with other community leaders and other members of your society, the best way to do it and to convince other people is to have your conversations nice, thorough, and genuine. Generosity is one of the biggest things I learned when I was in politics. You can't just go up and start having a shouting match with someone, because you're just going to turn them off and make them go further in their own direction. What you really want to do is come to them with an understanding. I understand where you're coming from. Like if they would have said, I understand where you're coming from. We live in a very conservative area, and that's probably a lot of your upbringing. But this is why I see it being more problematic. And if they would have came at you in that direction, would you have had a different response?
Oh, 100%.
Exactly. It's not hard, man.
It's
Just to be
not.
a good person.
It's not.
Yeah, just be a good human.
Here's the whole thing, dude. So they were talking about that. We're talking about the bisexual girls thing. They said you're going to use the past against them, huh? I said, absolutely not. The only time that would change my mind is if you had a video out there or you did the OnlyFans thing, because you're not straight at that point. So also I said, here, one thing you also got to look at is why I would not date one. Because they were saying, what's the problem with bisexual women, Scott? Like, if I was bisexual, would you look at me differently? She asked me. I said, no. But I'm also not trying to fuck you every day. Mm-hmm. And here's the thing with that. Dating a bisexual woman, unless she's really, really conservative, then it presents problems, because the majority of the people in the LGBTQ community are liberal. I know a bunch of lesbians who are conservative, which is ironic, dude. Very ironic, huh? Mm-hmm. But it's awesome. I wouldn't say it's ironic as much anymore, because it's kind of normalized. Trump held up the pride flag at the RNC.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not as bizarre as.
But they're outlawed. They are outlawed, and people who are gay and lesbian, who are conservative, are outlawed in their own community. Ostracized, just like black people who are conservatives are ostracized in their own community, mm-hmm. because you're not following the status quo. So I tried to bring up why it is that I wouldn't date a bisexual girl, strictly for my preference. 2, I said because that's going to tie into how we raise the kids if we get married. And they said, oh, that has absolutely nothing to do with it. Yes, it does. If I'm exclusive with you, that means I see potential marriage in a woman. Mm-hmm. What does marriage come with? Children. How do I want my kids to be raised? I want my kids to be raised knowing that there's only 2 genders.
Yep.
I don't want them taught that. I don't want them going to drag queen story time. No, that will not happen in my household.
Yeah, I like how you're coming at it from that perspective too, rather than a lot of people try to ban drag queen story time over here in Lafayette. My opinion on it was, if I have children and I don't want them to go, I'm just going to tell them not to go. The system itself will fail if enough people do that, because I don't think there's a real market for having kids go to drag queen story time in South Louisiana.
It's unhealthy, dude. It is horrible. And look, I'm going to say some things today that are going to be very controversial. Let me tell you something. It is wrong to teach kids that a guy can dress as a woman at that young of an age. And it's wrong to teach kids that they can wear a dress. It's wrong to let them make their own medical decisions at 12 years old. You do not allow a kid to make a hormonal medicine treatment decision before the age of 18.
That was like the 2 that we were talking to in the bar, man.
Yes. They agreed. They agreed what I was saying, but they still thought the child should have that choice.
I don't think you should sexualize children at all. I think it's sick. I think it's disgusting. Don't teach them about that. Let them have fun. Let them play in a fucking sandbox.
And what I brought up to them was, I said, so you'd be fine with a 12-year-old voting.
I mean, it's not a bad argument.
But here's the difference between liberals and conservatives. They said, yeah. Why? Because every younger kid is going to be easily influenced. All these kids in California, you know how that would go. If we were going by the popular vote and they let that happen, we'd be Republicans. We'd be fucked for the rest of our lives.
We already are, because the mail-in voting system was, and this is actually fact, that the lawyers who wrote it up, said, I think we just want every election from now on, just because mail-in voting is such a benefit to high populated areas. It's really easy to go and put those mail-in votes to send out in someone's mailbox whenever they have 150 of them in a box right here, versus having to go into country where I have knocked doors in rural South Dallas, and it would be 7 miles till I hit a house because it's nothing but farmland, and those are the Republican voters. The odds are certainly in favor now, and plus, how in the hell are they going to vet 150 million mail-in votes?
They're not.
It's not even constitutionally supposed to happen, but they just rammed it through because of COVID-19, which, you know, in my opinion, was very very suspicious that it happened at the time when it did. Whenever our economy is at the best it's ever been, and we're looking at a really good approach for the future of America, and I don't know. I just think it was all fishy.
Biochemical warfare, you think, huh?
I don't really know, because I mean, like, Dr. Fauci was one of the people who was giving money to
the Wuhan lab.
That gain of function research. That specific
gain of function
one.
research. The definition that got changed.
Oh, yeah.
by
I am the science man.
Yep. The actual definition, and I had my video taken down from YouTube when I talked about this. The NIH technically changed the definition of gain of function research in order for the Wuhan lab to be funded. And who was our biggest donor? Fauci. I mean, Fouchon. Yeah, we have code words now.
Makes sense.
We have code words we have to use.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not superstitious, but I'm a little stitious. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You feel me on that? So, yeah, we're not gonna get into that because I don't want my video taken down.
That's fair enough.
No, man. Well, the biggest thing I can say is, you know, I try to get along with everybody. I get along great with people who straight up tell me, like, dude, like, some of the stuff you say is just, I don't know how you say it. Here's how I look at it. If you say it to me like that, yeah, dude, it's cool. Sit down, we'll talk. You start berating me, I just don't have much respect for you or your opinion to begin with. And I have very little respect for liberalism to begin with. I used to be able, look, I'd be able to meet the left in the middle on a lot of things, but the left had to stop being completely insane. And then you want to call me far right, the alt-right? Let me tell you something. There's a big difference between being far right and the alt-right. The alt-right is a lot different.
Alt-right, alternative right, was specifically
white nationalism.
created for white nationalism and the rise of Adolf Hitler.
Yep.
Saying that and saying far right, which is probably just general conservatism back in the 90s.
Yep.
I actually heard this really good argument. And I don't want to talk about politics on this podcast, but it's whatever. We'll keep it going, because I did hear this really, really good explanation on how a Canadian would view it. So with all the Canadian trucker protests and whatnot, I was listening to this show, and they had a Canadian on who wrote a book called The New Civil War. And it does argue that we are in a civil war right now just because of the divide that we have currently. And I mean, a lot of people thought that the next war will be an information war. And we are seeing some correlations there.
But you know what the good thing is? If that ever does happen, Delta 3 Tactical has my back.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, like, we're set up in the South. We're set up in the South. I mean, like, just like, I don't know if it was China or Japan, but they said there's no way we can invade the U.S. because there's going to be an AR-15 behind. Well, not AR-15. There's going to be a gun behind every blade of grass. Like, there's a reason the Second Amendment's here.
You damn right.
Yeah, there's a reason it's here, and we're very lucky to have that right, and we're the only country in the world who will ever have that right, in my opinion. But this Canadian was on this podcast, and he was talking about how they saw the conservative movement as more dangerous to break out in civil war than the left. And the podcaster was debating him, saying, you know, I wouldn't agree with you there, because with Democrats and Republicans, you have Democrats taking rights when Republicans are just saying slow down. Republicans have never said, let's have Second Amendment bills passed. They've said, let's not have them try to ban AR-15s on a national scale. So he was still disagreeing with this. But the podcaster said, okay, you're from Canada, right? He said, yes. He said, how do you like your healthcare policy? It's like, all government, public healthcare. He said, I love it. Like, I wouldn't change it. He said, okay, give me that and we have a deal. And he said, I totally understand what you mean. Like, my blood boils when you're talking about taking something from me, and then we have what you would call, what you would call basically nice rapport with the other side. Mm-hmm. When it comes to taking away something that you love a lot, when something that you value, and then we'll be good to go. Because that's what the Democrats are doing. They say, let's take your guns and we'll be square. Is that something that we're going to ever go with? Fuck no. Absolutely not. So that is a really good perspective for people who are not in America to see as this is what we're fighting right now. We're not fighting to try to create angst and anger with the other side. We're just fighting to preserve what we think is right. Mm-hmm. So that's all I'll say on that end.
Democratic Socialist of America. If you're are they at Louisiana Lafayette? Are they at UL?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's been brought to my attention that the Democratic Socialist of America are currently at UL. Again, Scott Davis, it's damn good to meet you. I am also the beginning of your end. I need like a dramatic backdrop now to just...
Oh, you'll be able to edit that in.
Show me in the flames. In the flame. Oh, yeah, I'm going to fucking put some fucking flames. Yeah, with a laugh like that. Yeah, I'm going to do that and I'm going to send it to you through the mail. Motherfuckers. All right.
That's a good way to go into it.
Yeah, we're going to jump into careers. All right. So we got you your parting gift from us, asshole.
Hey, I gave you the Woodford, man.
Yeah, you did give me the Woodford. You did. Good trade-off.
Oh, yeah.
That's good stuff, too, man. Actually, would
it.
you mind passing some of that to me, please, sir?
Where's it at? Oh, it's over there.
You got it?
Thank you, Panda.
Thank you, Panda. So, asshole, when did you decide you want to leave us?
Man,
Austin. You see how the names tie in together?
I was about to say, it's close, man. I don't blame you. That's
you,
a close mix. And my mom calls me asshole more than my own name, so I totally get where you're coming from. But I always knew that I did not want to be here, especially after I was in politics. Just nothing's getting better. It's only getting worse, and it's going to get worse at a much higher rate. And I saw that happening whenever I was working for nonprofit organizations to try. Oh, can you put a little bit in mine? Mine's getting diluted. Oh, yes, and my girlfriend and I talk about raising a family. We want good schooling. We want a secure lifestyle that will help defend our Second Amendment rights. We want the ability to start our own businesses without having to go through 76 pages of licensing that would happen in Louisiana. Texas, I think it's like 2. You want to start your own business? 2 pages of paperwork, you're good to go. Versus over here, 76. We have the highest number of licensing paperwork in the country. And there's a reason that there's no new jobs here. There's a whole reason for that. There's a reason our school system sucks. There's a reason our criminal justice system is garbage. All of that has to correlate with big government policies that we have in Louisiana. Because believe it or not, we are a blue state. We might vote red for the presidential candidates, but we have a Democrat governor, and we only have Republicans in office because of the R by their name. It has nothing to do with their merits. I've seen them kowtow too many times to have any respect for them. Even the good ones. Yeah. It's sad. And I know it's not going to be fixed, but I'm just thankful I had the opportunity to get out when I can. I'm going to miss the people here. All my family's here. All my best friends are here. You're here. And it's just... it's draining, it's upsetting, but you have to go where the jobs are, and I'm very, very happy to step into my new career in the private sector and just get out of politics, get out of all the toxic vibes, be able to be mentally and socially stimulated with the new coworkers I have.
So before we get into the deep conversation, I will say this. This is the 3rd time we hang out. Mm-hmm. But I am proud of you, and I do consider you family, because the first time we hung out, brother, really felt a good brotherly connection with you. So I am proud of you. I love you. And you're going to say it back.
Same to you. I love you too, bro. I made sure to make a point to make sure I say that today.
Yep.
Because, you know, I do love you, and I know you're a good person at heart. You can
Brother,
just tell.
we're going to miss you. Because, I mean, this is your second time on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, whenever you come back, we'll be in the house.
Yeah. Well,
Took him a little while.
We'll be in the new house and have the new room set up. But we'll cheers to that before we start tearing into people.
Cheers, my man.
sorry, I'm watching the breaking news over here, guys.
Russia stuff?
The Russians
Yeah,
on the
Russia stuff.
the Russians are on the move.
It's
Ain't that something? You always thought you'd see the Chinese are on the move.
Oh no, China's doing it very smartly. Russia's just kind of like, so the way I see it, probably Russia is just playing with dolls on this side while China's building up their defenses and doing what they need to do to try to mess shit up over here.
Chinese can't do anything because of the Olympics going on right now.
Well, not right now,
Behind closed doors.
but I'm sure they got some stuff cooking up. I know they have some stuff cooking up. I mean, you had the Made by China 2025 where they want to make every single product that U.S. buys in China, which, that's part of the free market. But whenever they're going to start using that against us, we're going to start recognizing it.
We got to put some tariffs on there.
Tariffs, yeah. Whenever, I'm usually not a big fan of tariffs, but whenever it comes to an imminent threat, which I do believe China is, I think that we need to start taking some repercussions against them. And Trump was doing a very good job of that. Of course, Biden, went go chase ice cream trucks, and he has no idea what's going on.
No. I think he didn't. I think they said he woke up this morning, saw his shadow, and thinks he's gonna be president again for 8 years.
I heard he pooped his pants in the Vatican.
Really?
There's no actual proof of it, but there was a hashtag going on, hashtag Poopy Pants Biden, which is a fantastic hashtag. And you saw he was dressed in a certain suit, and then a few hours later, different suits. So I mean, it could have been a potty issue.
How many suits do you think they carry for him?
Oh man, I'm okay. After that situation, I know at least 2 or 3. Odds are he'd only use 2, but who knows? It might have been enchilada night or something.
Maybe he got his gallbladder removed.
Who knows?
I don't know, man. But anyway, so you were talking earlier before we started about how our parents, well, not our parents, but parents in general today, I've been on record saying, and dude, if there's anybody who defends the generations before us more than me, I'd like to meet them.
Mm-hmm.
Because I always give them the benefit of the doubt, strictly for the way I was raised. I'm raised with home value.
Mm-hmm.
Family isn't necessary blood. Those who come into your life, who treat you well, and you can rely on, depend on, and just any day of the week, man. You don't call them just for you need a favor. They don't call you if they just need a favor, just want to spend time with you. That's family. One thing I will say is the lack of manners, I wouldn't say a lack of motivation, because everybody finds their own shtick eventually. So motivation will tie in later on in your life once you actually find what you like to do. What we didn't elaborate on last time we talked is the cost of living for us is completely different. Mm-hmm. And what else would you say? What else would you say they don't understand about our generation?
What they don't understand.
Speak from a perspective of, we're talking about me, you, and Panda.
What they don't understand is what the future was going to hold, and that's not their fault. Mm-hmm. Computers were just invented in the 1980s. The internet was invented in the 1980s. They had no idea that podcasts were going to be a thing. They had no idea that creative minds would be able to do things that they never even thought would be possible, much less be able to make a good living off of it. I didn't mention this on the podcast last time, but we're starting to see a new trend in trade work, and it's coding. They're starting to pay kids right out of high school to go to Silicon Valley for $100,000 a year if they know how to code. And if they don't know, if they're not that good at it, they'll give you training for it. So, I mean, just think about how could your parents perceive that future. There's no way in hell they were going to think you're going to make $100,000 without a college degree in the mecca of technology in the world. And that's starting to take the place of diesel mechanics, AC repairmen, which we still need those things, obviously. But if you don't want to do those things, these things are available to you now. And that's something that a lot of our family could have never conceived, and it's something that we as hey, calm down, bud. That's something that we as their children should start to elaborate on them a little bit. But chances are 45, 50-year-old parents, they're stubborn. They have their place. They know what they know because they have more life experience than you. They might not get the gist of it. But start raking in some cash, showing them that you're doing fine, living on your own, and they'll accept it and they'll appreciate it. And, they'll have more respect for you for going into this thing that they didn't even think was a real thing. And just like you with podcasting, I mean, you're going to be very successful. I can see it. You have the personality and you have the talking points to really make a big difference, especially in this area. And I hope to see you branch off into being a real national syndicate. And you're super young, so you have the time to do it. But that's something
you
that
silver-tongued devil, you.
Yeah, politics teach you a little bit, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's genuinely how I feel, and I love that I can articulate it. But that's something that your parents will look back and say, you know what, you made the right decision, and I'm proud of you.
Oh, whenever it came down to any decision I've made regarding my future, I'll tell you what, Mom has always been supportive of us. And Dad, if he was here, he would have been supportive of that too.
Oh, your dad's proud, man.
Y'all do.
Yeah, your dad's proud.
Oh, hey, he never talked politics, though. He never did, man. Made sure not to. He said, there's nobody fucking opinion who I voted for. Fuck him. But it is a big thing to do, is to take that leap.
Leap of faith.
Like you're doing. You said, you waited for a long time. A lot of times people look at you and say, all right, well, what are you doing now? Oh, well, I'm working door at a bar. Pays well, makes ends meet right now until I hear back.
Yep.
Oh, what are you doing for initiative? I've taken the initiative.
Yep.
They always say there's ways to push. And look, very successful people, there are ways to push. But there's different ways to do it. Okay, you can call every day, which you can. I've done that before. Whenever I was starting off in high school looking for a job, I wanted to work. I wanted money. I like money. I love money. And that's not a Jewish joke, even though I got birthright to Israel.
Yeah, you did tell me you're a little bit Israeli.
I got birthright to Israel. I don't align with the religion, but I can technically say I do have Jewish blood. I do. So I do like my money.
Parents will respect you for the hustle of doing something that they didn't even think was possible.
Yeah. And so what do you think nowadays? I guess technically I can be classified as an influencer. So that has opened up doorways to so many opportunities. Like Jazzercise, like Delta 3, like Bulldog. Opens up the fucking floodgates. What people have to realize, whenever you do make the jump that we make, you better go balls to the fucking wall with what you're about to do. If you're going to leave school like we did, that's in itself a huge, huge decision to make. Especially how close we were.
Yeah.
But unlike most people, whenever we get fed up with the way shit works out, you have no more use for me. What does school have how does it have any use for me? You taught me everything in regards to accounting. You taught me everything in terms of human resource management, in terms of marketing. Yet you want to tell me I have 47 more hours to take bowling? What use do you have me? What use do you have for me at that point? You have no monetary value towards me at all anymore.
No, they really don't. And I mean, it's more of the fact that they know they can get away with just making you spend all the money you have.
You think you can get away with it?
They do. They think they can because they gotten away with it for so long. The 2000s era, that was the time of their lives. They didn't have to prove shit. Like, guarantee you, maybe I can count them on one hand the amount of kids who actually looked at their student fees whenever they're paying tuition. And no, that was one of the best things about going to school for me, was being able to expose all this nonsense that was going on. I don't want to pay $150 a semester for a master advancement plan that my kids wouldn't even see. I mean, they're not coming to UL, that's for damn sure. But that's something that they're going to have to realize in the next 10 to 15 years, or kids won't go to school anymore. I mean, you have, and it's kind of sad, but I mean, now for job fairs on college campuses, you have OnlyFans there. And those girls will figure out I can make a lot of money.
They have an OnlyFans day?
Well, not OnlyFans day, but for career day. They have, like, this nice, young, attractive guy. There's a video of it. This guy telling these girls that they can get, like, financial autonomy away from their family. Like, it's not like saying, you can separate from your family, but it's saying you want to rely on them for money. You can just go do this, which is devaluing them in the long run. But
yeah, how do you feel about that? Because I know you saw I talked about it. You saw that, how I talked about that on OnlyFans? Because I got a lot of backlash on that, which I don't give a fuck anyway.
Like,
I'm going to say what I'm going to say. But there's a difference between talking to people who have been doing OnlyFans for a long time compared to talking to those who have done it short term. Mm-hmm. The ones you have a conversation with long term, who have been doing it for a while, they consider it their job, they know how the system works. Completely different conversation than the ones who just post every now and then.
Yeah.
And say, all right, I'll do this one film with this one person. No, that one film ain't going to be here for just one day, partner.
Mm-mm. It's there for life, and it's going to follow you.
And they think that they're protected. You think that there's no way that people can get their videos unless they subscribe. Mm-hmm. They forgot the function of screen record on people's phones.
And that's going to go around to every person they went to high school
every
with.
Every
person that they know.
Motherfucker that you know.
Yeah. And, like, at the end of the day, it's going to devalue you as a person just in a psychological standpoint. I mean, it's kind of glorified prostitution, in my opinion. But a lot of people say, it's freeing. I don't need a man to pay for my stuff. And it's like, true, but then untrue. Because who's subscribing to your videos?
And dude, look, I'm so conflicted on this because I agree. If you can get your bag, get your fucking bag. Mm-hmm. If you have a good enough body to model and do OnlyFans and all that crap, do it. By all means, shoot your shot. Do what you got to do. If guys are willing to pay you $200 to $300 to $1,200 to fucking go on vacations or go out to eat with them, fucking do it. Go ahead. But understand the long-term consequences of that. Because let's be real about something. Those looks ain't going to be around for your entire life.
And that goes for men and women.
Men and women both. Those looks will not be around your entire life.
Yeah. Whenever there was one person that I worked with, and she actually had an OnlyFans. She said she got $700 for sending someone dirty underwear, and
dude, that's just oof.
And I genuinely cared about this person. I said, I mean, I know it's nice to have that $700, but at the end of the day, is that what's best for you? Is that making you grow as a person? And I mean, I don't know if she took the advice or not. But, like you said, if that's what they want to do, I'm a libertarian. Like, go do what you want to do. But I care about people enough, especially friends of mine. I don't want them to be caught in this trap of I have to do this now to make money because you didn't invest in the gifts you have up here. You invested in your physical form, which is not even half of what you are as a person.
And I think that's something that does in a long-term way kind of bother me too, that you see people that you love and that you see them do the OnlyFans, you see them do the, like, what's it called, sugar baby stuff,
sugar daddy stuff.
Yeah. And even your friends who might, I don't know too many guys who pay. I don't know any guys actually that pay for women to go do stuff with them, because
I don't know any because I wouldn't hang out with those people.
I wouldn't hang out with a guy who did that.
Yeah, I have no respect for you.
No, dude, that's zero respect from your fellow man.
Yeah.
You have money. Yeah, dude, you worked hard for that money. You're going to throw it away?
It's not even that. It's that you don't have enough of a personality to go and try to find a woman to just build something bigger with than just something physical that she doesn't even give a shit about.
I don't have any friends who are sugar daddies.
Mm-hmm. They're usually older guys too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we see a lot of them come through the bar.
Because why? Like you just said, we wouldn't be friends with them.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have that much self-respect and confidence in yourself to where you're not willing to go shoot your shot. Instead, you just want to throw money at girls who have no interest in you.
Mm-hmm. Just to get their attention.
Just to get their attention and get some kind of feeling within yourself. And dude, this is one of those touchy subjects for us because of so many people who do it that you love and you care about. And I still love them, dude. I still love any of my friends who do OnlyFans. They know, dude, they know how I feel about this.
You're just concerned. You're concerned.
It's a concern about how are they going to fare in the future. Also, how are they going to be perceived in the future. But that's on them. I still care about them as an individual, and I always will. But I'd be lying to you if I said that the friends of mine who do OnlyFans, who do the sugar baby stuff, I would be 100% lying to you and to everybody else if I said that I looked at them differently, if I did not look at them differently. Because I do look at you differently now. Yeah. And just because your body's incredible and you can do that, I'm proud that you're able to make your money. It's just one of those things because I've had people close to me that have done the OnlyFans thing. And I found out the wrong way by somebody just saying, "Oh, dude, look what I saw."
Yeah, and it makes you feel like shit, huh?
It didn't make you feel like shit. It makes you feel like some type of way, and it shouldn't affect you. I understand people are going to say it shouldn't affect you. I can understand that, but what worries me is how it's going to affect them, because I might respect you a lot as an individual and a person and love you and care about you. But now people are going to look at you and treat you like a piece of meat. Mm-hmm. And can you blame them?
Not whenever that's...
Bless you. Can you blame them? Can you blame guys for seeing a girl on OnlyFans or doing a Snapchat premium? Can you blame guys now? And I had a conversation with one of them the other day. I said, look, I don't want to hear about your guy problems. I love you, but you're setting yourself up for that. What do you expect? You're making sex. You're doing sex on camera. You're making porn on camera, and you're complaining about guys not treating you like a gentleman. Are you acting in a way that a gentleman warrants treating a woman? Mm. No, you're not.
And the biggest thing that we can take from this is that we're both coming from a sense of concern. We're both coming from a sense of care.
It's not judgment.
Yeah.
It's just...
It's worried for the individual who is pursuing this.
It's an uneasy feeling because you know how great of a person that individual is.
Up here, man.
And the fact that they're resorting to that because they can. Look, you can say it gives women empowerment. There's nothing empowering about telling women that they'll be heard more if they just take their clothes off more and more. Mm-hmm. There's nothing empowering about that.
It really just reminds me of I don't know if you ever watched Deadwood, but it's an old it's a Western show.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Yeah, it just reminds me of girls going back to that era of just being prostitutes to survive, and you could they are making their own decisions. They don't have to travel to a certain place because they have no money. You're not investing in what makes you a good person. You're not investing in what will make you a better person in the future. You're investing for the now. And every religion will tell you the now is not the only thing.
And one of the things that I listened to this podcast the other day, they had these 3 girls on that made at least $30,000 a month in OnlyFans. Yeah. These guys said the same thing I just said. Okay, you might be top 10% now, but tomorrow, the next hottest thing's going to come up. Yeah. Then the next hottest thing's going to come up. What's your plan? Are you at least investing this money that you're making? Because you could very well be just doing swimsuit pics. That's different.
Yeah, it's a lot different.
It's
than what we're
different
talking
than fingering yourself on camera. It's different than having sex on camera. And we do come from that place with good intentions about it, because there's not a single person on this planet that hasn't watched porn or done or subscribed to an OnlyFans page. If you can find one person who hasn't done either, or bring them to me so I can know the answer to life.
Mm-hmm.
And that excludes people who live in the Amazon.
It excludes people who live in the Amazon and those really hardcore, like Hindu.
Yeah. Because
Hindu and
there's not a
Buddhist.
single Christian who hasn't.
That's correct.
Not a single Christian.
I guarantee you on that one.
Yeah. But it does come back to the point, though, man. Now, this just one thing I want to kind of reiterate is, we are tough. The last video I made on this, me and Panda talked about, I was very tough on it. And the fact that I do have a lot of friends who do both, either sugar babies or do OnlyFans, I don't have one single friend who's a sugar daddy, because I don't respect any man who does that. Mm-hmm. I don't respect the man who's not man enough to fix what's wrong with himself and to make an effort to pursue a woman how you were supposed to.
Yeah. And even if I have, I have had a friend who has been a sugar baby for someone. I still talk to her and hang out all the time. But as soon as that dude walks in, get him side eye. I'm not saying a word to him.
I'll be nice to you.
I won't even be nice to a guy who's giving money who's giving money just to get your attention. I'm not gonna be nice to him. And I told him that from the beginning. It's like, when that fuckface Cummins in here, I'm not talking to him. I'll talk to you all day. Like, you're a good person. I don't think that person is a good person. That, and I think they're morally reprehensible. They're just not good. It's not someone I want to associate myself with either.
It really is hard to have respect for a man who does that.
Absolutely, yeah. I think that's the whole point that we're getting to. Like, and also when it comes to the OnlyFans stuff, I don't respect the person who's gonna show me all the subscriptions he has to the OnlyFans, because it just shows me that you don't value women the way that I do.
Yeah, dude, it's hard enough to, no pun intended. But it's hard enough to say, all right, could you date or pursue a monogamous relationship with a woman who had an OnlyFans? Depends on the content.
It depends on the person. I mean, I would never, but it depends on the person. If this person knew this individual throughout the time that she was in OnlyFans, there could be situations where she had to. I mean, I'm not faulting those people.
Dude, 100%.
A lot of people go through hardships. Happens all the time, and I really feel bad for the women who are involved in these situations. But it's whenever they see it as an empowering move, and if I care about them enough, I think of them like my little cousins. If I ever found out my little cousins were on OnlyFans, I would lose my shit. I appreciate people too much to let them fault into this scenario that has no opening for the future except in the adult film industry.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's amateur Pornhub.
Mm-hmm. You go talk to Mia Khalifa right now. She's haunted by it.
Dude, I saw
haunted by it.
I saw an interview she did. Yeah,
like you probably saw the same one I did. Like she
talked
can't
about
go
it,
down
dude.
the street. Like she really can't. And she's like, I only did it for a year and a half. It's like, well, it's all out there. You were the top porn star for almost a year.
And she did what, 2 or 3 videos?
I think she did more than that.
She did. Yeah. I can honestly say I never saw any of her stuff.
If you're that popular, I don't think you only did 2.
See, her stuff is, I have my preference.
That's fair enough. Yeah.
So I mean, but it's like now porn, the whole porn thing. Whenever we were younger, yeah. Do I watch a lot of porn now? No. Mainly because my mind can do whatever I need for it.
Yeah.
I have a pretty given, dude. Look, my life is great.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're not going to dive into what I mean all the way by that, but it's like I do well for myself to where I am living a life that I'm open and honest.
Yeah. That
I am not looking for a relationship right now.
But if the right one just comes out.
The right one comes up, dude.
That's what I was with my girlfriend now, man. Like, just I knew early on. Like, my mom was like, Why are you talking about kids so early? It's like, when you know, you know.
The whole thing with that is, it's like I was having this conversation on the other podcast I did the other day, the one that we're going to actually listen to. I'm going to let y'all hear this shit whenever we play Madden.
All right.
Because your mind's going to fucking blow.
Speaking of, do you want to mention the score that we had in Madden for the 2 games that we had?
Didn't I skunk you one up?
Sure, we'll go with that. Scott is a killer in Madden. He destroyed me in both games.
He was the first person to ever beat me at my house.
Base beat.
He audibles every fucking play.
Audible, player rotations. You got to make sure you know what the coverage is.
But he gives me a challenge.
I do.
And that can be appreciated, because that day after you left here and you beat me, I started playing Ultimate Team again.
Oh, yeah, no shit?
And my team overall is 89.
Oh, you're better than me.
But I advanced so fast in it to where the guys I'm playing are 95 to 99
95
overall.
to 99 with the Cam Chancellors, Troy Polamalos, and you got Lamar Jackson or Mike Vick.
Derrick Henry can play quarterback.
Oh, yeah, Derrick Henry can play QB. Like,
Cam Newton's my linebacker.
I tell you what, man, the pay back when I was really big into it, I never spent more than $20 on Ultimate Team. But back when I was really big into it, I had my favorite player, Brian Urlacher, was
Jersey.
my tight end. Dude, you want to talk about some fun shit? Like, anytime they have man coverage, play a corner out with him, truck everyone for the end zone.
We got to stream that game.
Oh, stream our game?
Yeah.
That'd be dope as fuck. I'll play with the Bengals. I mean, I've been playing with the Bengals for a good bit right now.
You've been playing with the Bengals?
Yeah, I'll play with the Bengals.
You know, they're 78 overall.
Yeah, but their offense is 85. I don't know if you updated the roster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll play with the Bengals. Did Joey Burr, bro?
I think we dove more into the OnlyFans with that conversation a lot better than
like I told you. I'm open to having any conversation that you want to
career.
have.
The career thing, yeah, that has a lot to do with the career.
It
But
does.
I
It
think
really
we
does,
finally
actually.
talked about it in a way. Like the last time I talked about it, I did it from a survey standpoint, and I was a little bit on Hinge because I found out somebody that, bless you,
That you care about.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it bothers me.
And yeah, and like, I mean, obviously you go through the 7 stages of grief. You're probably in anger.
Yeah,
You were certainly in anger. But I mean, I'm glad I was here to kind of like make sure that we had the thoughtful conversation on why we're so disgruntled and upset about these things that are going on to the women in our lives.
yeah,
And, I only think it's being added on in a negative perspective from the universities who are having OnlyFans job boards up on their campuses. What example are you showing these kids who are supposed to be intellectuals? You're showing them that, that doesn't really matter. You can go make a lot more money now, pay off your tuition, and, I mean, a lot of them, I don't know any statistics on this, but I can't imagine them being really thoughtful in their careers and their futures whenever they have this going on.
yeah.
And it's very troubling. It's very troubling for us too, because we're all trying to we're all trying to procreate in our own way. We're all trying to have families. We're all trying to grow as people, and have little ones to carry on the torch for us.
And we have to be able to criticize bad ideas.
We absolutely have to, and that's why America's the best country on earth, is because we can have freedom of expression.
100%.
We won't be monetized for certain things that we talk about, and we'll have the opportunity to have these open discourses without having any physical altercations or being thrown in prison.
Or berated outside, but that don't usually work for conservatives.
Well, that's something that will change in the future, and I guarantee you, because good ideas outweigh any kind of negative impulses.
And one thing to take into consideration, again, I want to address the DSA. Here's one piece of advice, you comrades. That's what they call each other, comrades.
That's what they call each other.
You ever saw that Democratic Socialist of America meeting in Sacramento?
Well, the one, don't use he, she pronouns.
The one that said, I have sensitivity overload.
Sensitivity overload. Please don't clap. Please snap.
No, it's jazz fingers.
Jazz fingers. Please do jazz fingers, because I am so inept mentally that I cannot withstand any noise.
That's another thing, dude. It's another thing I want to address, especially after the Ben Simmons thing. People now resort automatically to mental health.
Mm-hmm.
I understand people have mental health awareness days and stuff like that. And you're talking to a guy who's a big advocate for football players getting help. I go through a lot every day because of the concussions I've taken.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 100% in favor of those who need mental help and accepting people for who have it. The moment you use that as a crutch and you lie about it, people are doing that now.
I'm still waiting for the first person to come out after he kills 3 people in a movie theater and say, yeah, I have anxiety or I have a mental disorder.
Anxiety, dude. Look, that's a touchy one for a lot of people. I'm going to go ahead and say it. We all have horrible anxiety. Look at me. Let me give you an example. My hands shake constantly because of my concussions I've taken in football. My hands never stop shaking. Okay? Whenever I get to class and I had to take a test, my hands, I had to wait 5 minutes before I could write my name on a fucking Scantron. Because my hands, on top of anxiety, would shake that bad. Did I complain or bitch about it? No, because that was a minor form of anxiety. This, on the other hand, that's different. Mm-hmm. Can't do anything about that. I'm too young to take any medicine that's going to stop tremors.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it. One, because also I do believe in ways. I believe the human mind is a lot stronger than people give it credit for. Your brain is so much stronger than you think it is. You can literally wake up and change and alter your mood for the entire day. You can affect the way you treat people and how you go about your day just by your mindset. And a lot of people do have issues with that whenever I say stuff like that. I say, well, you're saying that because you can. Because you don't have it bad like us. You ever met with a neurologist and did a MRA and an MRI where they have to put chloroplast in your blood to see the damage your brain's taken? I don't think you have.
No.
I don't think people have. And let me tell you something. I'm a person who has brain damage.
Yeah.
Okay? First time I ever said that. I've used my head as a battering ram my entire life. What do you expect? Would I change anything? Fuck no. If you had to put me in football pads again, I'd do the same damn thing over again. Would I use my head as much?
You could say probably not.
Maybe not as much.
Yeah.
But people don't give themselves enough credit.
They don't, and they use it as a crutch.
And stop using it as a crutch.
They do that a lot. But you know what? I think that's just a time of what we were taught in schools. We were taught that, everyone should be able to be successful in their life, and that's very true. Everyone has the opportunity to do that.
But now it's gone to either you're successful or you have a mental health problem.
It's either you're successful or there's something wrong with society or there's something wrong with you. Can I use the bathroom real quick?
Yeah, we can actually end.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because we're at a minute 10, an hour 10.
Okay.
So, on that note, give yourself more credit. All right?
That goes to everyone.
Focus more on what you can do that day compared to what you can't do on that day. And if you start doing that, and don't put yourself in a position to where you're not happy. A lot easier said than done. We took the leap a few months ago. Your leap can be tomorrow. Your leap could be next week. We don't know. It could be a year or 2 years from now.
Yeah. Give yourself
But whenever
time.
you do take that leap, whenever you know you're ready to take that leap, you're going to know that you're ready to take the leap. And whenever you jump in, cuz don't dip your foot in the pool, you dive the fuck in the moment you take that jump. So, cheers again to your new job, brother.
Appreciate it, man. Good luck to you. I'll be back soon.
Yeah, you damn right you're going to be back.
Mm-hmm.
As always, this is Unwoken. That's Austin Lanclos. I said it right that time.
Yes. You could follow me on Instagram at Austin P. Lanclos. If y'all have any questions about anything that we talked about in the podcast or anything in general, if you have someone who you're worried about, I love helping people, and I'd love to get back to you about how we can solve these problems together, because that's how all these problems will be solved, by conversation and care. That's what I really want to bring out here.
And you can find him and Panda if you look on my Instagram, because they're some of the only 2 people I'll follow. So Panda is right back there watching the Russians on the move. But also shout out to Delta 3 Tactical. Jaws are size. Appreciate y'all. My boy Brandon Harris, the CEO. I'll see you soon, partner. Well, this is Unwoken. God bless. Take care. And I'll see your asses next week. That's a wrap, boys.
That was a great fucking show, man.